Hey everybody, it's Mile High Man back from the dead, I should say. Sorry I missed on my VCast yesterday. I was actually suffering from food poisoning, still feeling the after effects. Wife's still feeling it pretty bad too. Actually hit me right after I broadcast my third episode. But I'm here. Luckily it wasn't the flu, so I'm ready for the game on Sunday. Um, Not a lot to say. Like I said, not 100%, so I'm not going to say a lot today. Just going to touch on a few things. I did call around my family, just talking to them and friends to see what other states had to say about who they think is going to win. Looks like in Denver, obviously it's Denver who's the favorite as well. Especially with the weather change. If you haven't heard, the weather has gotten a lot better in New York, or I should say New Jersey. They're expecting higher temperatures. I think they said like 40, 45, which is pretty cool. Definitely a lot better. One thing I didn't look into, if you do know, let me know, is Meadowlands heated field, which I think it is. I don't think the practice fields that the two teams have been playing on are heated, because both teams really complained about the ground being really stiff. A lot of the AstroTurf outdoor fields are heated, so it does help out quite a bit. They usually just don't do the practice because it's more money they got to put into that. But if you do know, leave me a comment. If it's not, then I learned something today. But yeah, both teams practiced inside. Still Peyton yesterday and today still went outside and did a little bit of practicing. I know yesterday for sure that he took Osweiler and Dysart outside and did some quarterback drills. Peyton trying to get used to the cold. Definitely something he wants to get off his shoulders and prove to everybody that cold weather doesn't, prove what kind of quarterback he is and isn't. Definitely a feat that he needs to get over, but it's kind of hard when people have a small sample size about how well you played and they, base your performance off such a small sample size. It kind of sucks, but that's football, that's life. As you can see, the beard is kind of getting kind of a mess. I was debating on shaving it today, but I'm just going to let it grow till the end of the Super Bowl and then trim it up a little bit. I'm going to not shave until it's all over. Only going to do a trim, so don't freak out. Just a slight trim to clean it up a little bit. Gotta be professional for the ladies. But yeah, like I said, both teams still practicing. It's the last big practice. Tomorrow they're pretty much going through mostly walkthroughs, I believe. Some things, like I said, I was talking to family members and friends about what's going on. I know I kind of got off subject, but Denver was going for Denver. Have family members in Kansas. They're going for Denver as well as the majority, but a lot of them are haters, as my cousin told me. Of course, I mean, as Kansas City fans are going to hate. They're going to be like, oh, Peyton Manning's the only reason you guys made it this far. Well, like I told her, a big part of any team is the quarterback. No successful team has been successful without a decent or above average quarterback. I mean, yeah, you got teams like the Chicago Bears who had Rex Grossman and went to the Super Bowl, but they didn't make it too far, did they? In some cases, Wilson is somewhat the same. I mean, I think he's better than Rex Grossman, but definitely lacks some experience and definitely hasn't been playing well either. I have a pop question for you, Joseph. You can't answer this one, and don't Google it or cheat. But if anyone can tell me how many touchdown passes Russell Wilson has thrown through the playoffs, I'll give you a mile-high thumbs up. Um, but yeah, just a little trivia right there. And then I also talked to my buddy out in Nebraska. He's actually in Omaha. About who's the favorite out there, and he also says Denver as well, and that he's pushing for Denver to win as well. It's my buddy Cody out there. I don't know if he's watched this yet, but what's up? But yeah, just wanted to see what people were talking about. Like I said before, in my segments before, that out here it's mostly Seattle favorites, which is kind of weird because they supposedly don't like each other, but they still are going for them. I haven't listened to the radio because I was sick. I was off yesterday, and then I took today off because recovery, and haven't really been able to listen to radio, local radio, to see if their minds have changed, because sometimes they can be wish-wash. But most likely with especially Doug and Wolf, they're really defensive type of guys, so they, I guess, will still swing towards Seattle. one subject that was brought up today with my cousin Joseph, which was pretty thinking out of the box, I guess you could say. We were talking about the topic of Noshan Moreno having a great year this year. Really impressed me. I thought he was a wash a year or two ago, especially with all his fumbles and injuries. And I thought he was going to be this badass running back out of college right out the gates, and he proved me wrong. But he's definitely changing that. But what Joseph has said is, well, isn't it kind of a coincidence that this is his final year, contract year, and that he's playing his ass off? Playing well, which I'm thankful for. Don't get me wrong, no, Sean. Thank you. But why save it for last when you're coming up on your contract? Why can't you play your hardest every single game, every single day? Now, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, and hopefully, he's just maturing and becoming a better player, every season. But I really hope that Joseph's wrong, and in the fact that he thinks that he's just doing this because of his contract year. We do have quite a few players that are up on the slate, if you want to say, for free agency. Not only Noshan, we also have Eric Decker, which would be a big loss, I think, to our offense because he just works really, really well with the Thomases and Welker. Yeah, it'd be a big hit to us as well. I know unless he retires Rogers Cromartie, he's up for it as well, which I don't know if he did the whole I'm going to retire thing for, to get kind of attention. I'm not sure. He's still pretty young. I mean, maybe he wants to get out before, he does any more damage to his body. But I do think he still has a lot of, good years in him. And, if Peyton stays, I think what's going to be a big factor on who stays and goes is obviously cap. Obviously, that's for every team. And, what Peyton does. I mean, they have a better chance of going again next year if Peyton stays, especially when we get a lot of guys back next year, especially on the defensive end. Von Miller, who else am I missing here? Von Miller, Chris Harris Jr. Wow, I'm having brain fart right now. And like I said, I'm just having, the injuries. Just when we get all those guys back, I think it will make us an even better team if they can play better. But yeah, really excited for the game. What is it? Less than 48 hours from now. Actually, about 48 hours. Yeah, because it's a little bit after 7. Sorry, guys, I'm not here all the day. But definitely have a lot more energy in the next couple of days. We'll do a segment tomorrow, and what my plan is to have a segment before the Super Bowl, at halftime, and then after the game. I know a lot of you have been trying to leave comments. If you can either leave comments on Facebook or down below. If you have any questions or any subjects you want me to talk about, I'd really, really appreciate it. That way I can not have to come up with stuff on my own. Yeah, really looking forward to the game. I think it's going to be a really exciting game, really enjoyable. Well, I want to get off before I sit here just staring at you guys for a few minutes. But thanks again for tuning in. Sorry I missed yesterday again, but I definitely will be here tomorrow. Got to go into work. Probably hit you guys up after work. But hope you guys have a great day, and go Broncos. Marshawn.